scientists have been looking at mushrooms in a very different way, not simply as a low-calorie food, but as a collection of biologically active compounds that can interact with your immune system. And one experiment gives us a fascinating clue. Researchers had healthy adults eat shiitake mushrooms every day for 4 weeks, and then measured what happened to several parts of their immune response. The results included increased activity and proliferation of certain immune cells, including natural killer T cells, along with an increase in secretory IgA, an antibody that helps protect the surfaces of your mouth and digestive tract. Now here's the part that makes this story worth paying attention to. The mushrooms weren't acting like a drug. There was no injection, no pharmaceutical capsule, no laboratory-created immune booster. The participants simply ate mushrooms, and researchers are increasingly interested in why. Because inside mushrooms are compounds called beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are complex carbohydrates found in mushroom cell walls, and certain immune cells have receptors capable of recognizing them. One of the most interesting is called dectin-1. Think of dectin-1 as an immune sensor. When certain beta-glucans interact with that sensor, they can trigger signaling inside immune cells and influence the activity of other immune cells. It's almost like the mushroom is presenting your immune system with a molecular message saying, "Pay attention." Now I want to be very careful here because this is where nutrition videos often go too far. A laboratory experiment showing immune cell activation does not mean mushrooms can cure cancer, prevent infections, or make you immune to disease. It means researchers have identified a biological interaction that deserves further study. And the human evidence is interesting enough without exaggerating it. In one 4-week shiitake study, healthy adults consumed either 5 or 10 grams of dried shiitake mushrooms every day. Researchers found changes in several immune measures, including greater proliferation and activation of certain immune cells, increased secretory IgA, and a reduction in C-reactive protein. That's remarkable. But then another question appears. What happens to these compounds when you take the mushrooms from the grocery bag and put them in your kitchen? Because this is where the story gets interesting, but also where we need to correct a common misconception. You may have heard that cooking mushrooms simply destroys their beneficial compounds. That's not what the research actually shows. Different compounds respond differently to heat, water, and cooking time. For example, research on shiitake and white button mushrooms found that frying reduced some measured beta-glucan and ergosterol levels, while boiling produced different effects. Phenolic compounds were also affected differently depending on the cooking method. Other research has found that the total glucan content of shiitake was not significantly reduced by several cooking methods, suggesting that beta-glucans can be relatively stable during cooking. So no, your frying pan isn't automatically destroying the mushroom's immune potential. But water is another story. When mushrooms are boiled, some compounds can move out of the mushroom and into the cooking water, and that gives you a remarkably simple kitchen rule. If you're cooking mushrooms in a soup, stew, or broth, don't throw the liquid away. You may be throwing away some of the compounds that migrated into it. And there's another reason mushrooms deserve your attention. It's a compound called ergothioneine. Ergothioneine isn't simply another antioxidant that happens to be in food. Your body has a specialized transporter called OCTN1 that helps transport ergothioneine into cells, and mushrooms are among the richest dietary sources of this compound. Researchers are particularly interested in ergothioneine because of its potential role in protecting cells from oxidative stress. But again, don't turn an interesting molecule into a miracle cure. Scientists are still working out exactly what long-term dietary ergothioneine means for human health. What we can say is that your body actively transports this mushroom-derived compound, and that is biologically fascinating. And here's something even more surprising. Cooking doesn't necessarily destroy ergothioneine. Research suggests ergothioneine is relatively stable to heat, although the amount remaining in cooked mushrooms can vary depending on the cooking method and how much of the compound moves into water. So the real lesson isn't never cook mushrooms. It's much smarter than that. Choose a variety of mushrooms, shiitake, oyster, maitake, and even ordinary white button mushrooms. Cook them in ways you enjoy. If you're boiling them, consider eating the cooking liquid. And don't obsess over some magical 3 times a week rule. The human research that showed immune changes used daily mushroom consumption for 4 weeks. So we simply don't have enough evidence to claim that exactly 3 servings per week is some scientifically established threshold. What we do know is that mushrooms provide a combination of nutrients and intriguing bioactive compounds that make them worth including in a varied diet. And perhaps that's the most fascinating part of this entire story. The mushroom on your plate isn't a miracle medicine. It's something much more interesting. It's food containing molecules that can interact with your biology in ways scientists are still trying to understand. Beta-glucans can interact with immune receptors. Ergothioneine is actively transported by your cells. And cooking can change the chemistry of these compounds, but not necessarily in the simple, raw, good cooked bad way that social media would have you believe. So the next time you pick up a package of mushrooms at the grocery store, don't just think about calories. Think about what you're actually eating. A food containing fiber, vitamins, minerals, beta-glucans, ergothioneine, and other compounds that researchers continue to investigate. And if you cook those mushrooms tonight, remember one simple thing. If the nutrients go into the broth, don't send them down the drain. Because sometimes the part of your food you think is worthless is exactly where some of its most interesting compounds have gone.